new thing. If you point out, I will read and I will study and I can give you some idea. Okay. So in last class we discussed about DES, but what we discussed mainly the DES has 64-bit block and it's a block cipher with 56-bit key. Then it has 16 round with initial permutation and the incomplete round at the last, that is 32-bit show up only, and the inverse permutations. In last class, most important things we discussed is that the initial permutation, why it is needed, and it can be any kind of permutations. As per DES, they mention this is permutation, but anyone can change this permutation to their own, including the inverse permutation. Whenever a person will change the permutation, remember that inverse permutation also be included so that it back to original positions. So initial permutation is purpose of initial permutation is to make it the redundancy available in bigram type and mainly bigram can be avoided so that the bigram that TH appear maximum or similar cases can be as minimum as possible, and bigram diagram that is n-gram dependency is avoided before any operations. Then we discussed about a round. A round is basically we discussed mainly the a box or a function, the function where the left half of the 32 bits, sorry, right half of the 32 bits expanded into 48 bits, XOR with or XOR with 48-bit sub key will generate a key and text, plain text combinations by XORing or XORing 48-bit, and that 48-bit used for substitutions, selecting substitution entity, and finally what we get the 32 bits is permuted again and we got 32-bit results. So F functions takes input 32-bit of plain text and sub key of 48 bits, generate 32-bit of numbers which as random as possible. It's basically a nonlinear functions which takes these two input, generate 32-bit output, and these 32 bits is XOR with the left half to get the new right half, and earlier right half will become the left half. As I mentioned in the last class, this f function is nonlinear. In case of nonlinear, we cannot get inverse functions easily for all nonlinear functions. But these nonlinear functions helps in this case is the random number generator. And as I mentioned, this f function can be replaced by any f functions, including secure hash algorithm or hash algorithm formula where input will be 32-bit and 48-bit and output will be 32-bit, can also be used here because this is basically XORing with the left half creating right half. The decryption process, the reverse, same key has to be used, same plain text has to be considered, and process has to be reversed. Because of this JOR at the end, process can be reversed. So, so this what we discussed about uh, the this portion already discussed. Then we come to this 8 S boxes. Again, I am repeating, the 8 S boxes can be replaced by any 8 S boxes. It's not at all big problem, but they came up with this S box combination and found that cryptanalysis point of view, it is good enough. The S box, there are 8 S box because there are 8 into 6, 64, that is S1, S2, S3 up to S8. There are 48 bit. Every 6 will convert it into 4. S box 4 bits. So these S box are generated, or the value written in S box is selected for substituting 4 bits each. 4 bits of the original message, that is 4 bits of the original message means these are 32 bits. That is the assumption. So this bit 1 and bit 6, I think bit 1 and bit, I have not discussed about how expansion taken place. This expansion taken place is given here in these slides, that how expansion can be created. It is just extended 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a 5, 32 bits. Fifth bit is repeated here. Similarly, before 1, if circular fashion is 32 here, and so on. And the final permutation they have defined like this, but you can use some other permutation. It's not a problem. As I mentioned in the last class, we come up with solution for S box can be replaced by another S box during my PhD studies. Now coming back to this, the S box, selection of the value in S box is depends on outermost bit 1 out of 6 bits. First bit and 6th bit is used to select one of the row, whichever S box is there, and 2 to 5 is used to select column positions. So finally you will get the output 4 bit, and 4 into 6, sorry, 8, 32 bits. What I discussed at the end in the last class is that the row selection depends on both data and key. Similarly, column selection also data and key. Because of this, the feature is called auto claving or auto keying. What I mean is that these functions, which is 32 bits we are getting, sorry, not 32 bits, these 48 bits, expanded 48 bits or 32 bits, these 48 bits together, 6 bits, 6 bits, 6 bits is coming. These 6 bits are generated by plain text as well as key. And because this selection is based on plain text as well as key together, the S box value selection S1, S2, S3 and so on, the selection is done by the automatic key combination of these two. Automatically, this is called auto claving or auto keying. Something gone wrong. I am facing little problem. Let me see again why such thing happened. In the meantime, you can see something is shown here in the point. We'll discuss at the end why these things happen. I have to reinstall maybe everything. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so next coming to the key schedule, and if you go through the key schedule, you will find it. It is easy to understand. It's not big issue. Only thing you remember, 64-bit key is not actually 64, 56-bit key, and the 8, 16, these parity bit options are not consider. So at this 56-bit, they have uh, consider in the position like this. Remember, this is positions 8, 16, 24. These are not supplied key. These are parity created from the 56-bit key. Actual key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. The first 7 columns. And from there, they created this permutation and this, and finally you can go through this key schedule. Again, key schedule is designed in such a way, if someone get the partial key, few consecutive key, they should not create the original key. I am not going details, but you remember this permutation also can be changed. All things are changed, can be changed. Decryption is the reverse process. We start with the key K16, sub key 16, then we'll go to key 1. Rest other remain identical. Whole process remain identical, only applying of the key in the reverse order. That's the beauty of this DES. Now we are talking about the new terminology called avalanche effect, which we discussed in the last class, the diffusion and confusion. So basically, key desirable property of encryption algorithm is avalanche effect, where a change one input or key bits changing approximately half output bits of due to diffusion and confusion. So this is very close to 50% of the block size should be the requirement for one bit change or one bit and key change reflect on multiple bits. That measure in terms of avalanche effect. Let us see. If we assume plain text M1 is all 0 and plain text M2 is all 0 but least significant bit 1. So Hamming distance between these two definitely 1, because 1 bit only they are deferred. Now look in the key. Here key is used 0, 8, 1, 9, 2, 3 and so on. It's a specific key pattern, but any key you can use. If I use this key and all 0 message, if I block, if I encrypt, I will get 2, 5, D, D, A, C, 3, E, 9, 6, 1, 7, 6, 4, 6, 7. Similarly, if I encrypt the all 0 but the last bit is 1, was least significant bit 1 for M2, it's same key, I will get 1B, DD and so on of this C2. And if I find the Hamming distance, it is 22. Here it is shown that every time how that is differ. So basically, if you look into the details, left half, right half, left half register, right half register for 2 cases, and if you find, I think one, it's okay. So if I forget the cycle, second column and third column is related to message all 0. Fourth column and fifth column related to message with least significant 1. And every round with this key, if you see that every round, if I find the distance between the round output, initially distance was 1, then distance 1, slowly distance increases. The distance come to around 12, 37 between two plain text, and finally 24, and at the end it is 22. So it is increasing then decreasing. Let us see the other scenario. So this table it is showing if I fixed the key 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, this is the key. And if I use multiple plain text where difference between messages, plain text message is only 1. So in the first case, the message is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, that is M1 is A, B, C, D, E, F is like this, E, F, then again A, B, C, D, E, F, then A, B, C, D. And the ciphertext is written here based on the key here. The second one and the first one differ here. That is the A, instead of A, it is 8. A and 8 is 1 bit difference. And the final ciphertext is this, and Hamming distance is 29. Similarly, if you look in the second column, with respect to the first entry, rest of the entry differ by 1 bit. And the ciphertext shown in the third column, and the difference Hamming distance at the output cipher, two ciphers, it comes to this. This is one example, and if I average it out of 16 cases, because 1 is the first, 16 possibilities, my Hamming distance average is 31.06. So this is talking about diffusion because key is fixed. The diffusion avalanche effect is 31, so very close to 32 because 64 is the block size. Now if I go for the confusions is we are looking the distance between key 1, Hamming distance between key 1. So second column, if you look, distance between key with respect to the first entry is 1. You can easily find out it is 1. For example, second row, the difference between first two entries in the second column at 0, 1 change. And if you look into the ciphertext, there are a lot of changes. So here ciphertext assume for all keys A, B, C, D, E, F like this. So ciphertext assume this, plain text assume this. With this plain text, with key first entry, we'll get second column first entry, we get the ciphertext this. With same plain text, with different key, different by 1 bit, if you look into the ciphertext, their difference, it is shown here in the last column. And if you do average, in this case also, you will get 32.88. So confusion is also found to be very, very good, very close to 32. So D is found to be good with respect to avalanche. Now, average time required for exhaustive key search, if we look into it, this is a text file, so this bold things are power. You remember the bold things are power. When I reach, before that, I should talk about little bit triple DES, because triple DES is not here. Let me talk about triple DS little bit. For that, I will use Notepad, Microsoft Note. So, what is triple DS? So let us look into the DES. I am writing DES, or better not to write DES here. I can write plain text. We are using M. So plain text is C equals to E K, that is M. This is our triple DS, K is key, 56-bit key. Now in case of triple DS, before triple DS, let us see double DS. So I use encryption K1 M, I got X. Then I do again encryption K2 X, I will get the final C. So my plaintext ciphertext pair is M and C. In case of single DES, this is single, this is double. We have done like this. Decryption is also possible. First we have to decrypt this, decrypt this by X equals to DK2 first. This is C. Once it is done, then we will get M equals to DK1 X. So the reverse order. This is, in short, we can write C equals to encryption of K2 E K1 M, and decryption we can write M equals to decryption of K1, decryption of K2, this. Now, people can say, let us use double encryption, good enough. Why you will do triple encryptions? But if you look into the double encryptions, the complexity will not increase because of the, we can say this is 56, this is 56. So this will be 112 is the key. And obviously this twice encryption will increase the complexity. But true sense, this decreases the complexity or increased by a marginal, that is, instead of 56, it will increase a little bit. How? Why this is happening? Because of this. Meet at the middle attack. This is called meet at the middle attack. If I know plaintext and the ciphertext pair, that is M and C, if I know, what I will do, I will create one table for this, one table for this. Sorry, I told wrongly. I told wrongly. This is 1 minute, one call. Hello. My officer Dasu. So what I told is little difference. What we have to do, we have to use this. This is the correct one. We have to use this, not this one, not this one. Let me clarify this. For breaking this, we need create one table with all possible keys X and M, and another case all possible keys this X and C, all possible keys. Then we have to compare where the X is matching. So automatically there will be multiple places key will be matching. So I will keep which keys are matching. Next set of M and C, I will do again this. Ultimately, I do not require running 112 keys. Instead, 56B keys are good enough. One here, and their corresponding mapping good enough for me breaking it. So double DES is not at all popular. So that's why came up triple DES. triple DS is basically you have to use C equals to encryption of K3, encryption of K2, encryption of K1. So plain text is encrypted first with Q1, next encrypted with K2, next encrypted with K3, thrice encryptions. This is not triple DS. Triple DS actually came up with slightly different concept to keep it. This is also can be called triple DS, but it came up with slightly different concept. I am erasing. Sorry, I have done erasing wrong. Okay, I will write it again. So triple DS is encrypt M, then decrypt with key and encrypt. EDE. So first encrypt, which is now also in use by banks, triple DS in India, not other places. M encrypted with key K1, M decryption algorithm by K2, M finally it encrypted with K3. This is triple DS. So 56 times 3 is the key, and this is widely used. Why? Because if I make K1, K2, K3 equal, it is equivalent to encryption, one encryption. So decryption is nothing but will replace D, E, D, M. This is decryption, and here obviously K3, K2 in the reverse order, K1. So this is the triple DS with 3 keys. 56 times 3 is the 168. 168 key is, you can say this is one of the expression 3 key systems, and it can be very good. That's why triple DS 168 key is possible, but widely used triple DS is 2 key system. In 2 key systems, this encryption is EK1, DK2. E stands for encryption algorithm, D stands for decryption algorithm. This is, and M, this is 3 keys. This is 2 keys, DK1, sorry, EK2, DK1, sorry, this should be, oh, I have written wrongly one place. This should be C. This is more popular with 112-bit key, and it's found that the crack by the table or the exhaustive search, these 2 key systems or 3 key systems or triple DS more stronger than single key systems, and now also it is in use in banking system in India, specifically ICICI Bank, State Bank. Till last year 2020 they were using. Now back to our discussion. So key size, if you look into it, will AES are not discussed. We'll see the key size. If we increase triple DS, key size is increased, and if it is this is exhaustive search, exhaustive key search. If 10 to the power 9 decryption per second is possible, then this is the table. You can go through it. Now coming to strength of single DES, it has 56-bit keys, 7.2 into 10 to the power 16 values. So, and there are a lot of attacks, and found that this is not usable. So around 2001 to 2002, it found that single DS is not good enough. So they come up with triple DS, as well as the NIST or government of US came up with that AES, but they made it sure that AES no one use unless they declare it. So whole world was using triple DES, they were using AES. Now they have improved the AES and options in different way, and they are making sure that we are using triple DS now also. Let us see single DS some property. Single DS property, that is called complementary property. What is complementary property? If ciphertext C equal to DS encryption key K M, here encryption, that's why it is right DSK, plain text is generated C. Now complement bitwise the message M, apply same algorithm, you will get C complement bitwise. Also C complement is nothing but this, whatever may be the second one. So if you know message M and if you know ciphertext C, easily you can create ciphertext C prime or the complement of C from the message M prime or complement of M. We don't require to execute it. So automatically 56 2 to the power 56 become 2 to the power 55. We don't have to search for every O because complementary property makes the half of the searching. Next, look into the few things. This is called weak keys. As we discussed that from 56-bit key K, the capital K, 16 distinct 48 subkeys are generated for 16 rounds. There is a possibility that all key K1, small k1, small k2, small k3 up to small k16, the subkey can be equal. There is a possibility, and they found exhaustively that if all subkeys are equal, then you don't need too much. It's easy to break. And exhaustive calculations they found, some group found is there are 4 keys available, that is K1, capital K1, capital K2, capital K3, capital K4, can generate such type of keys. So while selecting key, we should DS, if someone using DS, these key should be avoided. So further reduction by 4, only 4 entry. Next comes to semi-weak key pairs. What do you mean by semi-weak key pairs? Select a pair of keys, that is capital K1, another key capital K2. The sequence, the subkey generate small k1, k2 up to 16 for capital K1. It will be reverse order for capital K2, small k16 to small k1. That means if I know capital K1, I can generate another set of key capital K2 which satisfy this. That means once I encrypt with K1, I again encrypt by K2, I will get the message, original message. These are called semi-weak key, and again there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of semi-weak keys. Semi-weak keys. Like this, the people have found lot of drawbacks of DS. So DS no longer in use. But remember, triple DS with 2 key and triple DS with triple 3 keys are in use, specifically in India, which not supposed to use. It is declared obsolete and no one should use, but our banking system they are using. Anyone can guess it, why? It's fine if you not guess. I am just giving you one important things is that in India, the scale of banking operations electronically much higher than compared to any other country except China. Because population wise, we are crossing the China and our everyone will do banking. The scale of operations is too high. And if we use AES or AES equivalent or complicated process, automatically it will take good amount of time to get one response and the servers will be busy to doing that job. Instead, if smaller computing options is good enough, it should complete it. This is done considering the risk factor. How much risk involved in the process? In India, another important things I have noticed, you may notice also, if your transactions amount is reasonably small, your credit card information, if you supply correctly or wrongly, except the card information, that is card number, 16 digit card number. If you write wrong expiry date, PIN you have to give correct, you have to give the card number correct, expiry or your name, if you give wrong also, up to a certain value, you get the things will be authenticated and you can do the transactions. What I wanted to mean, the process is not checking everything. Process is checking the card number and the PIN. Now, extra thing added in SBI is the SMS OTP for withdrawing ATM. That is a separate story. I am talking net banking. We usually provide all these things. OTP also. Some cases OTP is not required. Some cases permanent or fixed 6-digit things are available. In any case, if you enter your card details, the card number and OTP is supposed to be correct, and they check the name and the expiry of the card. Sometimes they do not verify if amount is relatively less. The transaction amount is relatively less. This is again done computational or scaling point of view with the risk factor. So automatically I reach to the next slide. It's called timing attack, which I talked about timing of the process. Here it is basically talking about if I give encryption algorithm with input certain pattern, the time to execute the cipher encryption or time to decrypt the ciphertext to plain text may vary. So based on some input pattern, if input pattern dictate the ciphertext getting from plain text different for different plain text, then there is a clue that bit pattern can be guessable. Similarly, if message is same, key bit changes, and time taken the executing this whole block based on the 1 bit change in key or different bit position in the key, then it is guessable that which bit is it. This is basically talking about that point of view, timing attack. We'll discuss in details subsequent classes. What we got from basic design principle that if we increase number of round, it will good, but we have not discussed here in details. If we go to the cryptanalysis, differential cryptanalysis and the linear cryptanalysis, specifically for differential cryptanalysis, if small number of round, it is very easy to break and they are able to break, and 16 round makes it little difficult for or avalanche effect is coming in good, so they not able to break easily. So number of round if we increase, it's very good. In general, criteria for number of round chosen in the known cryptanalysis effort require greater effort than the simple brute force key attack search. So number of round will increase, it will help. Please remember, if DS has 15 or fewer round, differential cryptanalysis would have been this, but we have not discussed differential cryptanalysis. This slide is for your only scan, because we have not done detailed differential cryptanalysis. Only we remember that round play a big role. There are few important things you have to remember, that is strict avalanche criteria, and beat independence criteria. What we have discussed, that selection of F should be in such a way the confusion and diffusion play big role, and you can find it out where it is written that S box should change with probability, the substitution should be with probability, every bit will be probability half. That is basically state of any output bit J for input bit I. The S box should change probability half when single input bit I inverted for all I and J. Similarly, bit independence criteria, please go through it. Already we have discussed several times. We will not go through this again. Please let us complete this. What we learn, there is an algorithm called DES, and inside DES different rounds, and these rounds and the two halves, and it operates only one half at a time, and nonlinearity function is added, and this nonlinearity function actually makes that, if you look in details, it makes only substitutions, makes only the randomness generated for during XOR in the round as pure random as possible, so that the final permutation and substitutions makes the things difficult for cryptanalysis analytics to find it. That is, so we'll end this chapter here. We'll go for the next chapter. Next chapter. You have any questions? You have any questions? Next chapter is again mathematics. We have learned already, but we will start revisit again. Basically, we'll discuss about finite field and the operation of the finite field, because in digital computer we are using field theory, because each and every elements we will take from the field, we operate on them, and finally we remain inside the field. Our two operations, one is addition, another is subtractions. Present day, everything is based on the group. When we will discuss elliptic curve, when we will discuss public key, when we discuss AES, everywhere we need it. In last class, previously we discussed about group property, that is simple closure law. A operation B belongs to same set. A group is nothing but a set of elements, obviously non-zero set with one operation. And the operation condition is that A operation B, two elements and operated, you will get inside the set, that is closure law. Similarly, associative law, identity law, inverse, and at the end, we have option for abelian group A operation B equal to B operation A. This part already we have discussed, just recapitulate. Here it is some difference. The first portion is talking about cyclic group. We have not discussed cyclic group in the last time, but indirectly we discussed it when we discussed the discrete logarithmic scenario. A to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mod n, we will supposed to get all elements. So exponentiations for one element can generate all elements, then that group is called cyclic group. One element power can generate each and every element in the set. That set is called, that group is called cyclic group. This is for multiplicative scenario. Similarly, in additive scenario, cyclic group is A plus A plus A. So n time addition of A, that is A single, A plus A, one element, A plus A, two elements. So n multiple of that elements can generate each and every element. Then additively, A, that group will be called cyclic group. But this slide is talking about multiplicative cyclic group, where elements powers can generate each and every one element power can generate each and every element, and that element called generator. Generator generates each elements. Multiplication case, it is power. Addition case, it is n multiplied. N is the natural number. Obviously, every generator has inverse. Inverse of generator is also a generator. Now comes to ring. A ring is talking about two operations, a set of numbers, obviously non-zero set of numbers, non-zero set of numbers, two operation, addition and multiplications. Again, we discussed these things. The additively abelian group, multiplicatively closure law, associative law. In distributive over multiplication and additions, that law A, B plus C, A multiplied by B plus C equal to AB plus AC. If multiplication operation is commutative, that is A multiplied by B equals to B multiplied by A, then it is called commutative ring. If multiplication operation has inverse and non-zero divisor, it called integral domain. This, what is indirectly telling? Ring can, if I add ring with inverse, fine. But we already discussed in the mathematics discussion time, zero divisor case inverse doesn't exist. Here condition is that non-zero divisor means A operation B equals to 0. 0 is the identity element for additions. That scenario not arise when A not equal to 0 and B not equal to 0. A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0, multiplied them A into B, if equal to 0, then this is called zero divisors, because we are reaching the scenario multiplying both leads to 0. It happens obviously modular arithmetic. Then it's called zero divisor, but we want non-zero divisors, means A multiplied by B not equal to 0 if none of them are 0. So what we reach is that It's a field. Why we are studying this field? Because field is basically a system. System works in a space, and the space is nothing but set of elements, and those elements can be generated from set of bases, and those bases can span the whole set. And same concept is here. A field is nothing but a set of elements, and each and every element, whatever you operate, you do remain inside the elements. So system can be designed. System can be designed. So this part already we have discussed. I am going towards repetition of this part. So basically, what we want to, I am using these old slides because the new slides I am not able to get it from the websites. So group of integers 0, 1 up to n minus 1, we represented Zn, form a commutative ring if n is anything. But if n become prime number, it can be filled. So this is already we discussed modulo 8, addition modulo 8, abelian group. And similarly, these also can be multiplicatively, we discussed also, but where we found non-zero divisors, zero divisors, because 4 into 2, it's 8, mod 8 equals to 0, 4 and 2, none of them are 0, and that's why it remain ring. But if n become a prime number, definitely it will be a field. We'll look into that. This part we want to discuss today this Galois field. This Galois was a famous mathematician, but died in age of 17. It was a very bad or sad part of it. We lost this person, otherwise it should have been very big contribution to the mathematics. When he was age of 17, he got an invitation to fight in that age. And they are the customs that they have to fight each other if someone asks for a fight. You cannot, if you don't fight, assume to be you are died. And if you fight, one of them will die. So Galois was one of the persons who got invitation from his friend to fight, and he cannot say no. So what he did it, the last night before fight, he wrote it in diary, lot of mathematics, and next day he fought and he died. But the diary where he wrote it, this was a very big thing, and we reached to the field theory, and that is called Galois field. The Galois field talks about GF, Galois field P to the power n, or extended Galois field GF P to the power n. If n equals to 1, that is called GFP, Galois field P. And if it is extended n digits or n bits for this, then it is called Galois field 2 to the power n in case of Galois field 2, and extended to n, Galois field 2 to the power n. This Galois field, what I mentioned, if P is prime, and definitely it satisfy everything, including multiplicative inverse, and it is well behaved for subtraction. We know addition and multiplications, but addition and multiplication can take care of it, subtraction and divisions and other things. So Galois field GFP is basically this part. You can read it. We will end it here today. We'll start from here because if I start, I have to conclude in this part. We'll discuss this in the next class. The one important information for you is that this is very important information for you is that we are organizing, IIT Guwahati is organizing IACA virtual presentation conclave, and it is going to have 29th and 30th 2 to 6 p.m. for benefit of everyone. You can go through it. Please, this is IIT Guwahati organizing. We expect all of you will join in this program. Please visit the website is written, you register, please participate. This is the schedule. There will be a talk at 2 p.m. every day. Subsequently, there will be series of presentation by young PhD student or MTech master student, PhD student, or assistant professor or that level from IIT, IIIT, and several other places. This is a competitions. We got quite a good number of people who applied with their abstract and their video 5 minutes. From that, we selected 10, 5 in system area, 5 in application area. This out of 5, first, second, third in every day will be shortlisted, in which feedback from the participants are also necessary. And the participants will get 20,000 first prize, 10,000 second prize, third prize 5,000 and a certificate, plus they can come in IIT Guwahati, spend some time. So as you are attending this security course, we are expecting you attend this 2 days without fail. I may put 1 or 2 questions in quiz from here. So, but indirectly I am forcing you people to attend. So please attend. Class is over. If you have any questions, please ask me. Class is over. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Please attend the things. I will upload into the